strong.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for joining us once again here on News PH. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about defense issues in Southeast Asia, the continuing delays in the construction and delivery of the two 123-meter landing platform dock ships being built by Indonesia's state-owned shipbuilder, PT PAL, for the Philippine Navy. Our recent coverage of this topic sparked intense discussion, especially among Indonesian defense communities. Some even began spreading false claims that the Philippines hasn't paid for the ships, or worse, that it cannot afford them. So today, we're setting the record straight using official documents, verified data, and a clear explanation of how the Philippine defense funding system really works. The Philippine Navy ordered two new 123-meter LPDs from PT PAL in June 2022. Once delivered, these ships will significantly boost the Navy's sea lift and amphibious capabilities, particularly for humanitarian assistance, disaster response, and joint operations. But progress has been slow. By mid-2024, the first vessel had yet to be delivered, and recent reports suggest that PT PAL's production lines are heavily occupied with other major projects, including Indonesia's own Merah frigate and a 163-meter LPD for the United Arab Emirates Navy. Instead of questioning PT PAL directly, some social media pages in Indonesia began claiming that the delay was because the Philippines didn't pay or lacked funds. That is completely false, and here's why. The idea that the Philippines depends on foreign loans for its defense programs is simply not true. By law, the Philippines cannot use more than $300 million in foreign loans for defense, a rule that has been in place since the 1970s. In reality, not a single major defense acquisition, not the Jose Rizal-class frigates, not the Tarlac-class LPDs, and not even the FA-50PH fighter jets, was financed through loans. Every one of them was paid directly from the government's own budget. Indonesia, on the other hand, relies more on both domestic and international loans to fund modernization programs. This approach allows larger deals, but comes with higher financial risks when funding or repayment is disrupted. The Philippines has chosen a slower but safer route, paying everything in cash through its annual defense allocations. The country follows what's called the Multi-Year Obligation Authority, or MYLA. Under this system, payments are made only when specific project milestones are achieved, such as design completion, keel laying, or final delivery. The payment schedule is approved by the Department of Budget and Management and typically follows this structure: 15% upon signing and project start, 35% upon delivery and acceptance of the first ship, and 50% upon delivery and acceptance of the second. The Philippines already paid the initial 15% in 2022 and another 45% in 2024, a total of 60% of the project's value, even before receiving the first ship. So the claim that the Philippines hasn't paid is absolutely false. PT PAL already holds more than half of the total payment. The real difference lies in how each country manages its defense spending. Because the Philippines does not depend on loans, it must plan cash flow and project timelines carefully. The government will not sign a contract unless it's certain that funding is secured from start to finish. This is also why the Philippines has not yet pushed forward with massive programs like a multi-role fighter acquisition. The funds must be guaranteed first. Indonesia, meanwhile, signed several multi-billion-dollar deals under former Defense Minister and now President Prabowo Subianto, including jets, submarines, and warships. However, not all of them have materialized. Some remain unfunded, while others are delayed due to financing issues. Before anyone claims that the Philippines can't pay, it's worth remembering, the system isn't weak, it's careful and disciplined. Another rumor suggests that the delay was caused by the Philippine Navy asking PT PAL to integrate Israeli-made systems into the LPD design. That is also false. The Philippine Navy never requested any Israeli equipment to be installed. What it did ask for was storage space for Spike-ER and Spike-NLOS missiles, since the LPDs will serve as motherships for the Navy's missile boats and AW-159 Wildcats that use those weapons. There is no direct coordination between PT PAL and Israeli defense companies, and any installation of such systems would take place in the Philippines after delivery. So, if the Philippines has already paid, what really caused the delay? Reports from Indonesian defense observers point to PT PAL's limited production capacity and the way it prioritizes its projects. Its two main dry docks in Surabaya are currently occupied, one by the Merah Putih frigate for the Indonesian Navy and another by the 163-meter LPD for the UAE Navy. Interestingly, the UAE project was signed almost a year after the Philippine deal, yet it appears to be progressing faster. This suggests that PT PAL might be prioritizing newer or more politically significant contracts. There are also reports of workforce shortages, overcommitment, and design issues with the Merah Putih frigate that could be affecting overall timelines. In short, the delay seems to come down to PT PAL's internal management and scheduling, not any payment issues from the Philippines side. At the end of the day, what matters is fairness and truth. Misinformation helps no one. The Philippines remains a loyal and reliable customer of PT PAL, having previously purchased and received several vessels, including the Tarlac-class LPDs. Rather than spreading false narratives, it's better to understand the facts and see how both countries can continue to cooperate for regional stability and shared progress. If you found this analysis helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to NewsPH for more updates on defense and maritime developments. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and continue supporting the modernization of the Philippine Armed Forces.